Hey everyone, welcome back to lesson 21 of Conquering Algebra 2. In this lesson we're covering two concepts. The first one is dealing with scientific notation and multiplying and dividing it with lots of different scientific notation numbers. And then the second part is word problems when they are giving us two statements of equality. So scientific notation, two things that we have to remember before we get into how to work out these types of problems is first part, our first number has to be between 1 and 10. That is scientific notation. And then part 2, your exponent is indicating the number of times this decimal is going to be moved. So it is saying -5 is our exponent. That means my number is going to get smaller. So I should be moving my decimal 5 times to the left. So moving it here, that's 1. And then I'm going to need to add some zeros for place value holders. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2, 3. So this is my answer in standard form, and this is my number in scientific notation. So let's do some practice. So the way that your book tells us to proceed with these types of problems is to treat each set of parentheses like it's its own problem first. Get all 4 sets of parentheses into scientific notation, and then to continue simplifying from there. So this first one, I'm gonna have to move the decimal all the way over to this 3. So we're gonna end up with 3 times 10, and then in this case I'm moving it 4 times, so this is going to be 10 to the -4th, but I also have 10 to the -6, so to the -10th would be the total exponent for this part, and then times 4 times 10 to the 3rd, so our numerator is simplified. Here I'm going to be moving the decimal to right there, which will be 10 to the -3rd, so we have 6 times 10. So a -3 and a +15, so this will be 12 when simplified. And then this one will be 2 times 10. So this will be 10 to the 3rd as well. And then we also have the 4th, so 10 to the 7th. So we've simplified our numerator and our denominator. Now we're going to treat our normal numbers in one situation and then our powers of 10 in another situation. Because we're multiplying, it's okay to split these up as long as we bring it all back together in the end. But right now, everything is a multiplication symbol, so that's okay. So we have 3 times 4 over 6 times 2. And then, let's deal with our powers of 10. We have 10 to the -10th and 10 to the 3rd. And then we have 10 to the 12th and 10 to the 7th. Okay, so looking at this part, 3 times 4 is 12, and 6 times 2 is 12. So these are going to reduce down to 1. So I have 1 times 10, and then from here I just need to simplify my exponents. We're almost done. So 12 and 7, this is going to be 10 to the 19th. And this will be 10 to the -7th. So I have -7 minus 19. So if we remember, when there's a division bar, that means I'm subtracting this exponent. So -7 minus 19 is going to be -26. And that is our answer simplified. It is 1 times 10 to the -26. Now, you can work this whole problem out in your calculator as is. I personally do not recommend that you do that, at least while you are starting to learn this concept, because a common mistake is that your calculator does no order of operations. So when you enter it in, you have to include a second set of parentheses here and here so that this division bar knows that you are dividing this whole numerator by this whole denominator. And if you forget this second set of parentheses, you're going to get the answer wrong. And so that is a very common mistake. So I advise in the beginning, let's not do that. Let's work it out this way. Or in your calculator, solve your entire numerator, write that down here, and then solve your entire denominator. Write that here, and then solve that. But that's a lot less parentheses that are going on and multiplying and dividing, and it helps you keep everything organized and working in the proper order, because order of operations is so key with this lesson, or else you're going to get the problem wrong. So I say take your time, solve it numerator then denominator, or work it out by hand. Either one is good. Okay, so our second concept is going to be word problems when they give us two statements of equality. In this example, the ratio of two numbers is 3 to 4, and their sum is 84. What are the two numbers? I'm labeling these, the first number and the second number. I think your book labels it N and D for numerator and denominator. It doesn't matter, as long as you remember which one's which. So our first statement of equality is that the two numbers, F and S, have a ratio of 3 to 4. So the first over the second is going to be equal to the third over the fourth. So there's our first statement of equality. And then our second one says that their sum is 84. That means the first plus the second is going to be 84. So now we have two unknowns and we have two equations. So that means that we can solve this. First thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to cross multiply this one because we really don't work with our problems when they're fractions like that. So when we cross multiply, we are going to get 4f equals 3x. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to isolate one of these variables. I'm not going to mess with elimination on this one. And so I'm going to isolate one of the variables in my first equation, because if I did that with my second, I'd have to put up with fractions, and I don't want to put up with fractions. So over here, this is going to become f equals 84 minus s. And now I'm going to take this and plug it in right here. So 4 times 84 minus s equals 3s. And then we're going to distribute the 4 to 84, so I'm going to multiply that out. And 4 times 84 is 336. Minus 4s equals 3s. And then we're going to add 4s to both sides. And we get 336 equals 7s. So I'm also going to divide that number by 7. And s equals 48. So now that we know our first number, we can find our second number. I can plug s back into this equation or this one. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. So f plus 48 equals 84. So we're going to subtract 48. And we get f is 36. And the way I can check my work is I can take both of these numbers and plug it in right here and see, is this a true statement? And 36 over 48 does reduce down to 3/4. So I know I did my job right. I found my first and my second number, so we're done. Okay, our second example is actually a style question that we're going to see quite a bit, at least in the beginning part of our book. It says the sum of two numbers is 128 and their difference is 44. And we're going to see that a lot. Their sum is this, their difference is this. And right there, that's two statements of equality. Their sum, so I'm going to call these the first and the second. Why not? So the first number plus the second number is 128, and they're different. So the first minus the second is 44. And right here, I see that I can either set this up in my calculator under system equations, or this problem is already set up for elimination because I have plus s and minus s. So when I add the two equations together, the s's are gone, and I get 2f equals 172. So then we're just going to divide by 2, and f equals 86. And then I'm going to take 86, plug it back into one of these equations. So 86 plus s equals 128. We're going to subtract 86. So s equals 42. And then to check my work, I can take both of these, put it into this equation, and 86 minus 42 does equal 44. So we did it, we got it right. All right, so that's it for lesson 21, simplifying scientific notation and then work problems dealing with two statements of equality. Be sure to practice this at home with your homework, so that way whenever we get to class, you can find out, do you understand this or do you still need some help filling in some holes? So I'll see you guys in class.